Dear students, in today's discussion we have 10 topics to cover, and the 10 topics are 4 indigenous sports in Khelo India Youth Games, merger of 5 film media units, maiden launch of MRSAM, Swachhata app, easy to push for absentee vote, DigiID new service rules, Digital Ocean, disturbed area under AFSPA, internet shutdowns in 2020 cost India $2.8 billion or $2.8 billion. Longitudinal aging study of India, Wave 1. Heavy snowfall declared state-specific natural calamity. So let's start with the first topic, that is 4 indigenous sports in Khelo India Youth Games. Government approves inclusion of 4 indigenous sports in Khelo India Youth Games, that is 2021. The games includes Gatka, Kalaripayattu, Thangta and Malakamba. So as an aspirant, you should have idea about the salient features of all these 4. That is, once again, it is Gatka or Gatka, Kalaripayattu, Thangta and Malakamba. So Kalaripayattu has its origin from Kerala and has practitioners all over the world. Malakamba has been well known across India, and Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra have been the hotspots of this sport. Gatka originates from Punjab, and this traditional fighting style of Nihal Singh warriors is used both as self-defense as well as a sport. Thangta and Manipur martial art has passed into oblivion in the recent decades, but the sport will get national recognition again with the help of Khelo India Youth Games. So, Kalaripayattu is from Kerala, Malakamba is from Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra, Gatka is mostly from Punjab, that is from Nihal Singh warriors, and Thangta, it's from Manipur, it's a martial art. Now, this was a discussion in Hindu newspaper regarding this news or this current affair. Sports Ministry approves inclusion of 4 indigenous games in Khelo India Youth Games. Gatka originates in the state of Punjab, and this traditional fighting style of the Nihang Sikh warriors is used both as self-defense as well as sport. So this was the discussion which came in newspaper with this particular figure, and try to have clarity regarding all the 4. The character means the character and the salient features. And in the news it was Gatka, Kalaripayattu, Thangta and Malakamba are the recent inclusions. The Sports Ministry has approved the inclusion of 4 indigenous sports including Gatka and Kalaripayattu in the Khelo India Youth Games 2021 scheduled to take place in Haryana. This was the news. The other 2 games included are Thangta and Malakamba. Speaking about the decision, Sports Minister Kiran Rijiju said, India has a rich heritage of indigenous sports, and it is a priority for the Sports Ministry to preserve, promote and popularize these games. There is no better platform than the Khelo India Games where athletes of these games can compete. So it's a good decision from the side of the ministry. You should have an idea about all the sports, and at the same time there is possibility of getting salient characteristic features of the sports too. Next one is merger of 5 film media units, that is to fulfill the commitment to support the film sector. The Union Cabinet chaired by the Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi has approved merge of 4 of its film media units, namely Film Division, Directorate of Film, Festival, National Film Archives of India and Children Film Society, India with the National Film Development Corporation. By expanding the Memorandum of Articles of Association NFDC, which will then carry out all the activities hitherto performed by them. So here the discussion is the merging of film media units. So the merger of film media units under one corporation will lead to convergence of activities and resources and better coordination, thereby ensuring synergy and efficiency in achieving the mandate of each media unit. That's the discussion. The umbrella organization will be NFDC, consequent upon the merger of film media units will be uniquely placed with regard to promotion, production and preservation of filmic content all under one management. So here, to fulfill the commitment to support the film sector, the Union Cabinet chaired by the Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi has approved to merge 4 of its film media units, namely Film Division, Directorate of Film, Festivals, National Film Archives of India, and Children Film Society India with the National Film Development Corporation with NFDC. So here, what is film division is about, what is Children's Film Society is about, there should be clarity. So Film Division Subordinate Office under the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting was established in 1948 primarily to produce documentaries and news magazine for publicity of government programs and cinematic record of Indian history. That is about Film Division. Children's Film Society, as we know, India an autonomous organization, was founded in 1955 under the Societies Act with the specific objective of providing children and young people value-based entertainment through the medium of films. So that is Film Division and Children's Film Society. Next is about National Film Archives of India. It's a subordinate office under, again, the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, was established as a media unit in 1964 with the primary objective of acquiring and preserving Indian cinematic heritage. So that's about National Film Archives of India. Next one is Directorate of Film Festival. Directorate of Film Festival, as attached to Office of Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, was set up in 1973 to promote Indian films and cultural exchange. And we know NFDC, the final one. The NFDC is a central public sector undertaking incorporated in the year 1975 with the primary object of planning and promoting an organized, efficient and integrated development of Indian film industry. So this five, that is right from what is Film Division, in which year, what is the basic objective, what is Children's Film Society India, what is its basic objective, in which year, and what is National Film Archives of India, in which year, what is the basic objective under which ministry, Director of Film Festival, which ministry, which is the year, and what's the objective, NFDC, what is the objective, what is the year, there should be clarity in that. PIB has given a clean explanation regarding the same. Cabinet approves merger of 5 film media units through rationalization of infrastructure, manpower and other resources. That was the news on 23rd December 2020, right from PIB. Now it was a good paragraph, neat and clean. With more than 3,000 films produced in a year, India is the largest film producer in the world with an industry led by the private sector. To fulfill the commitment to support the film sector, the Union Cabinet chaired by the Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, has approved to merge 4 of its film media units, namely Film Division, Directorate of Film, Festivals, National Film Archives of India and Children's Film Society India with the National Film Development Corporation Limited, by expanding the Memorandum of Articles of Association of NFDC, which will then carry out all the activities hitherto performed by them. The merger of film media units under one corporation will lead to convergence of activities and resources and better coordination, thereby ensuring synergy and efficiency in achieving the mandate of each media unit. So you can expect a question from this particular aspect. It can be from film, it can be from NFDC, or it can be from other 4 units. So India is a country which is producing around 3,000 film in a year, and India is the largest film producer in the world with an industry led by the private sector. It's something which is to be very clear about. And as like I mentioned, you should have an idea about Film Division, Children's Film Society, National Film Archives, Directorate of Film Festival and NFDC. There should be pinpoint clarity. In the newspapers, there were empty number of articles regarding the same. MIB merger of 5 film media unit triggers concern over central government employee status among staffers. That was a news regarding the concerns regarding the merging of 5 units together. NFDC to become an umbrella organization for Film Division, National Film Archives of India, Children Film Society of India, Director of Film Festival was the discussion below. But the major discussion was MIB merger of 5 film media unit triggers concern over central government employee status among staffers. That was the news came in Indian Express regarding the same. Next is maiden launch of MRSAM. That is Defense Research and Development Organization, DRDO, achieved a major milestone with the maiden launch of medium-range surface-to-air missile, Army version from Integrated Test Range Chandipur off the coast of Odisha. So, maiden launch of MRSAM, Defense Research and Development Organization, DRDO, achieved a major milestone with the maiden launch of medium-range surface-to-air missile. So, what is MRSAM? There should be clarity. The missile completely destroyed a high-speed unmanned aerial target which was mimicking an aircraft with a direct hit. So that was the test. So army version of MRSAM is a surface-to-air missile. It's a surface-to-air missile developed by DRDO, India and AI Israel for use of the Indian Army. RSAM Army Weapon System comprises of command post, multifunction radar and mobile launcher system. So it is MRSAM. MRSAM Army Weapon System comprises of command post, multifunction radar and mobile launcher system. And this was the discussion came in PIB, that is Press Information Bureau, Ministry of Defense, successful maiden launch of MRSAM. And this was the news below. Defense Research and Development Organization DRDO achieved a major milestone today with the maiden launch of medium-range surface-to-air missile MRSAM Army version from Integrated Test Range Chandipur off the coast of Odisha around 16 hours, that is 4. The missile completely destroyed a high-speed unmanned aerial target which was mimicking an aircraft with a direct hit. So absolute clarity regarding what is medium-range surface-to-air missile is about. What is the specialty of MRSAM Army version should be clear in your mind. Now, in the PIB detail, we can see Army version of MRSAM is a surface-to-air missile developed jointly by DRDO, India and AI Israel for use of the Indian Army. MRSAM Army weapon system comprises of command post, multifunction radar and mobile launcher system. So this MRSAM Army weapon system comprises of command post, multifunction radar and mobile launcher system is pinpoint objective area which you are supposed to have clarity in that. The complete fire unit has been used during the launch in the deliverable configuration. The team from the users, that is Indian Army, also witnessed the launch. Number of range instruments such as radar, telemetry and electro-optical tracking system were deployed and captured the complete mission data validating the weapon system performing including the destruction of the target. So that is the specific nature and character of MRSAM, that is number of range instruments such as radar, telemetry and electro-optical tracking system were deployed and captured the complete mission data validating the weapon system performance including the destruction of the target. Now in Indian Express there was a discussion. India successfully conducts maiden launch of the Army version of medium-range surface-to-air missile. The Indian Express. In April 2017, India signed a contract with Israel for supply of the MRSAM, which is a land-based medium-range air defense surface-to-air missile. That was the discussion starting with. And the same you can see in the newspaper also. In India on Wednesday conducted the first launch of Army version of medium-range surface-to-air missile. So MRSAM was there in news, and complete detail of MRSAM should be there in your mind. The technical side, at the same time the collaboration and the rest details of MRSAM. Next is Swachhata app. Swachhata Abhiyan has been developed to identify and geotag the data of insanitary latrines and manual scavengers. So Swachhata Abhiyan has been developed to identify and geotag the data of insanitary latrines and manual scavengers so that the insanitary latrines can be replaced with sanitary latrines and rehabilitate all the manual scavengers to provide dignity of life to them. So Prohibition of Employment as Manual Scavengers and the Rehabilitation Act 2013 mandate survey of insanitary latrines, their demolition and construction of sanitary latrines in their place. So what is Swachhata app is about? Prohibition of Employment as Manual Scavengers and their Rehabilitation Act 2013 mandates survey of insanitary latrines, their demolition and construction of sanitary latrines in their place. So that is related to that. At the same time, government has been implementing Swachh Bharat mission for identification of insanitary latrines and construction of sanitary latrines in their place. Now 2011 report reported existence of more than 26 lakh insanitary latrines in the country, and that is the need of an intervention. So existence of insanitary latrine is the main reason for manual scavenging, so that we know. So back to Swachhata app. Swachhata Abhiyan has been developed to identify and geotag the data of insanitary latrines and manual scavengers. Related to the same, and as an addition, related discussion came in the business line. Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs on Wednesday announced the launch of a revised version of the existing Swachhata Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs app. So there was a related discussion, that is Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs launches revised Swachhata app. So here Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs on Wednesday announced the launch of a revised version of the existing Swachhata app, introducing an additional category on COVID related complaints at a video conference held with all states and union territories. So that's an addition which came in newspaper, that is all newspaper covered that one, and Business Line, this was the news. Ministry of Housing and Urban Development launches revised Swachhata app. The app has now been modified and strengthened further in order to enable citizens to get their COVID-19 related complaints also redressed by their respective ULBs, that is urban local bodies, said an official release. That was the discussion in the newspaper. This one is related to EC, that is Election Commission. Election Commission to push for absentee vote, DGID, new service rules. So Election Commission to push for absentee vote, DGID, new service rule, that was the discussion. Election Commission's agenda: linkage of the Aadhaar number with voter ID, that is the first one. Allowing voter registration as soon as person turns 18 years, that's the second one. Ensuring gender neutral voting right to service voters, and launching of the digital voter ID for new voters. So the Election Commission's agenda is linkage of the Aadhaar number with voter ID, allowing voter registration as soon as a person turns 18 years, ensuring gender neutral voting right to service to voters, and launching of the digital voter ID for new voters. Now the first three require amendment to the Representation of Peoples Act 1951. So Representation of Peoples Act 1951 is in discussion. Why? Because in the first three, that is linkage of Aadhaar number with voter ID, allowing voter registration as soon as a person turns 18, and ensuring gender neutral voting right to service voters, these three demand amendment to the Representation to Peoples Act 1951. So there should be clarity regarding what is Representation to Peoples Act 1951 right from the polity perspective. The fourth one, a DigiLocker enabled version of the voter ID, is set to be launched on January 25th at the National Voters Day event. A major item on the EC list is the Aadhaar voter ID linkage, which it wants to bring it to weed out duplication and misrepresentation from the electoral rolls. So that is something important. And in the Economic Times, there was an article about the same. In 2021, Election Commission to push for absentee vote, DGID, new service rule, the Economic Times discussion. New Delhi, 4 items on the Election Commission's agenda, which could go a long way in increasing the voter base and facilitate higher turnout during polls, will likely to come up before the government in January. Linkage of the Aadhaar number with voter ID, allowing voter registration as soon as a person turns 18, ensuring gender neutral voting right to service voters, and launching of the digital voter ID for new voters have been on to-do list of the EC for some time now. So have a clarity what is the mind of Election Commission, and at the same time, in connection with the first 3 changes, we have to amend Representation to Peoples Act. So clarity regarding Representation to Peoples Act 1951 should be there. Next one is DigitalOcean. Now this was the news about DigitalOcean. Dr. Harshvardhan launches DigitalOcean, the first of its kind digital platform for ocean data management. So ocean data management developed by INCOIS of MOES, that is from the ministry. So the ocean is a storehouse of infinite knowledge, and DigitalOcean helps to share this knowledge about the ocean. So that is the base. Ocean is a storehouse of infinite knowledge, and DigitalOcean help to share this knowledge about the ocean with a wide range of users, including research institutions, operational agencies, strategic users, academic community, maritime industry, and policymakers. So what is the DigitalOcean is about? It is the first of its kind digital platform for ocean data management. So that is about DigitalOcean. So DigitalOcean also provides free access to information to general public and the common man. It will play a central role in sustainable management of our oceans and expanding our blue economy initiative. DigitalOcean will be promoted as a platform for capacity building on ocean data management for all Indian Ocean rim countries. So when you look into the nature and character of DigitalOcean, you can see it is having very clear objectives. That is to provide free access to information to general public and common data. It will play a central role in sustainable management of our oceans and expanding our blue economy initiative. Next one is DigitalOcean will be promoted as a platform for capacity building on ocean data management for all Indian Ocean rim countries. So this was the news which came in Hindu newspaper. INCOIS launches DigitalOcean. That was the major heading. And a clean picture. And Union Minister for Science and Technology, Harshvardhan, launching the DigitalOcean platform. That was the discussion. So here, Indian National Center for Ocean Information Service, that is INCOIS. So Union Minister for Science and Technology, Harshvardhan, on Monday launched DigitalOcean platform of Indian National Center for Oceanic Information Service. Here as one-step solution for all data-related needs of a wide range of users, including research institutions, operational agencies, strategic users, academic community, maritime industry, and the public. So what is DigitalOcean is about, and what is the characteristics, and what is the objective? There should be clarity. DigitalOcean, www.do.incois.go.in, is expected to bring a sea change in how the oceanographic data is served for a better understanding of oceans surrounding us. It will play a central role in sustainability of our oceans and expanding our blue economy initiatives. That is from the side of the director of INCOIS, that is Mr. Srinivasa Kumar. So DigitalOcean is going to be create a sea change in the overall oceanographic data. That is the discussion about. Next is about disturbed area under AFSPA. The entire state of Nagaland has been declared a disturbed area for 6 more months. So that was the news. The Home Ministry in a notification said the central government is of the opinion that the area comprising the whole of Nagaland is in such a disturbed and dangerous condition that the use of armed force in aid of the civil power is necessary. So the news came in connection with disturbed area. The entire state of Nagaland has been declared a disturbed area for 6 more months. That was the news. The powers are conferred by the Section 3 of the Armed Force Special Power Act 1958. So once again, Armed Force Special Power Act, as it is in news, that is the AFSPA. So what is AFSPA and what is its characteristic features has to be understood. Now, Armed Force Special Power Act AFSPA is a parliamentary act that grants special power to the Indian Armed Force and the state and paramilitary force in areas classified as disturbed area. The objective to implement the AFSPA Act is to maintain law and order in the disturbed area. It gives powers to the army, state and central police forces to shoot, to kill, search houses and destroy any property that is likely to be used by insurgents in area declared as disturbed by the Home Ministry. AFSPA is invoked when a case of militancy or insurgency take place and the territorial integrity of India is at risk. Security forces can arrest a person without warrant who has committed or even about to commit a cognizable offense, even based on reasonable suspicion. It also provides security forces with legal immunity for their action in disturbed areas. So all these four which I mentioned, which is characteristic feature of AFSPA, you should have clarity regarding what is AFSPA is about and what makes this act different from the normal. In Hindustan Times, there was a discussion, Nagaland declared disturbed area for 6 more months under AFSPA. So AFSPA has been in force in Nagaland for decades and was not taken back even after a framework agreement was signed on August 3, 2015 in that manner that news as it is starting. So this was the figure. The AFSPA was introduced in the northeastern state to curb insurgency. It allows armed forces the power to maintain public order in disturbed area. This is the discussion about. The Centre on Wednesday increased the operation of Armed Force Special Powers Act AFSPA in Nagaland for 6 more months. It also declared the state as a disturbed area. The Union Ministry for Home Affairs in a notification said that the centre is of the opinion that Nagaland is in disturbed and dangerous condition. This was the total discussion is about. Next discussion is internet shutdown in 2020 cost India $2.8 billion. Internet shutdown in 2020 has cost India $2.8 billion according to estimates by Top 10 VPN, a digital privacy research group. Top 10 VPN estimated that more than 1,600 hours of internet blockouts and 7,000 hours of bandwidth totaling has cost the country about $2.8 billion, accounting to 70% of the total loss of $4 billion to the world economy. Restrictions in Kashmir, the longest internet shutdown in a democracy, have hurt business, schools, and the distribution of medicine. So that is the news from the private agency. Top 10 VPN estimates the true economic cost would be even higher, as a major part of the blackout in the villages and city districts were not included in the report. So that is about the internet shutdown. It's better to have more clarity regarding the scientific details of an internet shutdown as such. Now, top 10 VPN define internet shutdown as an intentional disruption of internet or electronic communication for a specific population or location to exert control over the flow of information. So that is the explanation given by them regarding the internet shutdown. What is internet shutdown? And Hindu newspaper covered a news in this manner: internet shutdown in 2020 cost India $2.8 billion. So that was a news came in Hindu newspaper. Internet shutdown in Kashmir has hurt business, schools, and distribution of medicine. That was a discussion in newspaper. So it is telling what was the effect of the shutdown over the economy. That was the analysis from their side, and the private agency studied at the same time the newspaper cover. So try to have more details, understanding, and clarity regarding the scientific aspect of internet shutdown and the related data too. Now, longitudinal aging study of India, that is LASI Wave 1. So LASI, or Longitudinal Aging Study of India, is a full-scale national survey of scientific investigation of the health, economy, and social determinants and consequences of population aging in India. So it's a very important topic from prelims and mains. That is, what is LASI? LASI. So LASI, that is Longitudinal Aging Study of India. So Longitudinal Aging Study of India is a full-scale national survey of scientific investigation of the health, economic, and social determinants and consequence of population aging in India. At the same time, Longitudinal Aging Study of India will provide evidence base for national and state level programs and policies for elderly population. So that is about LASI, and the National Program for Healthcare of Elderly Ministry of Health and Family Welfare has undertaken the Longitudinal Aging Study of India through International Institution for Population Science, Mumbai, in collaboration with Harvard School of Public Health, University of Southern California, USA, and United Nations Population Fund and National Institute on Aging. So when it comes in this particular manner, you should keep an extra eye, because when organizations as such is there in relation with a particular program, we should have pinpoint accuracy which all organization in what all manner is collaborating in connection with a particular program. So here you can see International Institution or International Institute for Population Science, at the same time Harvard School of Public Health, University of Southern California, USA, and United Nations Population Fund, UNFPA, National Institute on Aging. So the LASI Wave 1 covered a baseline sample of 72,250 individuals in aged 45 and above and their spouses, including 31,464 elderly person aged 60 and above. So it's telling what work they have done. Why? Because India's first and the world largest ever survey that provides a longitudinal database for designing policies and programs for the older population in the broad domains of social, health, and economic well-being. So that is the significance of LASI. That is, this is India's first and the world's largest ever survey. So it is India's at the same time world's largest ever survey that provides a longitudinal database. A longitudinal database for designing policies and programs for older people or elderly people in the broader domains of their social, health, and economic well-being. So a lot of details regarding the same as such you can see in connection with the same. Now, in 2011 census, the 60 plus population account for 8.6% of India's population. That is something very, very important. Now, the same discussion as such you can see right from PIB also, and this came on 6th January 2021 in this particular year, the starting of this year 2021. You can see right from the side of Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Dr. Harshvardhan released Longitudinal Aging Study of India, Wave 1 India report. This was a major heading. Longitudinal Aging Study of India will provide evidence base for national and state level programs and policies for elderly population. That was a discussion. Unique feature of LASI is the coverage of comprehensive biomarker, No other survey in India collect detailed data on health and biomarkers together with information on family and social network, income, assets and consumption. So this was a headings assets, the three headings right from the side of Ministry of Health and Family Welfare regarding LASI. First one is Dr. Harshvardhan releases longitudinal aging study of India, wave 1 India report. At the same time, longitudinal aging study of India will provide evidence base for national and state level programs and policies for elderly population. And the third point is a unique feature of LASI is the coverage of comprehensive biomarkers. No other survey in India collects detailed data on health and biomarkers together with the information on family and social network, income, assets and consumption. So that is right from the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare regarding longitudinal aging study of India. Next and the final topic is about heavy snowfall declared state-specific natural calamity. So heavy snowfall was declared as a state-specific natural calamity under the State Disaster Response Force SDRF norms in Jammu and Kashmir. So this was the news. Heavy snowfall did not figure in the list of natural calamities under SDRF norms, due to which disbursement of relief and extra gratia for damage due to heavy snowfall was not possible for the district's disaster management authorities. Now, processing of ex gratia relief under SDRF will become faster, thereby giving huge relief to the affected people living in snowbound areas. So the news is heavy snowfall declared state-specific natural calamity. And in Indian Express, there was a news, Jammu and Kashmir, heavy snowfall declared the state-specific natural calamity. The Indian Express, taking cognizance of media reports, social media posts and grievances received from the public, the Lieutenant Governor asked the administration to identify gap and take immediate measures to fill them to redress issues faced by the people. And here, two things are in discussion. One is the heavy snowfall, at the same time, state disaster response. So, what is the capacity and what are the manner in which state disaster response force can act should be there in your mind. The news came in this manner: to expedite disbursement of relief and ex gratia for damage caused by snowfall, Jammu Kashmir Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha on Sunday declared heavy snowfall as a state-specific natural calamity under the State Disaster Response Force. So that was the discussion related to the current, and that was the discussion related to heavy snowfall, and try to have more clarity regarding State Disaster Response Force. So, my dear students, we discussed 10 topics. Try to have more clarity in these 10 topics by working out the question paper, and don't skip working out the question paper. That is very, very important and that is very decisive. So go through the current affairs question papers, at the same time the rest 25 question paper, and have an extra edge in the total current affairs. At the same time, have a total edge in the total preliminary examination. So in the next video, we'll be discussing the next 10 topics right from national issues. Have a great time. Have a peaceful study. Have a very productive learning. Thank you.